What if I told you that your home isn't just a place where you live? It's a mirror of your mind. Bold claim, right? But think about it. Every pile of clutter, every overstuffed drawer, every "I'll deal with this later" corner is silently draining your energy, stealing your focus, and keeping you stuck. Here's the thing. Decluttering isn't just about tidying up. It's about reclaiming control, creating a space that empowers you instead of overwhelming you. And let me warn you, this isn't your typical fold your shirts like this kind of advice. We're diving deeper into a pragmatic, no-nonsense approach that will transform your home into a place of purpose and peace. Sound like a big promise? Stick with me, because in this video, I'll show you how to cut through the chaos, make decisions that actually stick, and build a home that works for you, not against you. If you're ready to ditch the mess and take back your space, let's get started. Number 1. The ruthless purge. Trash it, donate it, or sell it. Let's face it, your home doesn't feel like your home anymore. It feels like a museum of your past, piled high with clothes you never wear, gadgets you never use, and sentimental knickknacks that bring more dust than joy. Bold statement, maybe. But here's the truth. Your stuff is owning you. Now you might be thinking, but I might need this someday. Trust me, I get it. We've all been there, clutching that pair of jeans from 5 years ago, convincing ourselves we'll fit into them eventually. Spoiler alert, we probably won't. You know the type of clutter I'm talking about. That drawer crammed with cables for devices you don't even own anymore. The stack of books you swore you'd read but never did. Or those gifts from well-meaning relatives that just aren't you. And let's not even talk about that collection of Tupperware lids without matching containers. It's chaos, and it's suffocating. But the good news? It doesn't have to be. Here's the strategy, the ruthless purge. And yes, I said ruthless for a reason. It's time to grab 3 boxes, or bags if that's easier, and label them trash, donate, and sell. The rules are simple. Pick up each item, and if it doesn't make your life better or bring you genuine joy, it goes into one of those boxes. But what if I regret getting rid of something, you ask? Let me tell you something radical. Regret is temporary, but the freedom of a clutter-free space, that lasts. I know this might sound brutal, but let me share a personal story. Last year, I had a spare room that turned into a dumping ground. You know, that space where you toss everything you don't want to deal with. One Saturday, armed with coffee and a playlist, I went in with my 3 boxes. At first, it was slow. Every item came with a little voice in my head saying, "But what if?" But then I found something truly absurd. A box of tangled Christmas lights I hadn't touched in 6 years. I laughed, tossed them in the trash box, and something clicked. By the end of the day, that room wasn't a dumping ground anymore. It was my workspace, my peace. Here's what I learned. The things you hold on to just in case are often the very things holding you back. When you purge, you're not just clearing physical clutter, you're reclaiming your time, energy, and mental clarity. It's not about being wasteful, it's about being intentional. Plus, donating items can help someone else in need, and selling them can add some cash to your pocket. Win-win, right? This isn't just about decluttering. It's about taking control of your space, your choices, and your life. It's about saying, I deserve to live in a home that feels light, free, and mine. So, are you ready to let go of the stuff and hold on to what really matters? Trash it, donate it, or sell it. But don't let it own you. Number 2, the reverse room challenge. Start backwards. Here's a question for you. When was the last time you stepped into your guest room, basement, or that weird little storage closet and thought, wow, I really need to tackle this mess? Probably never, right? These spaces get ignored because they're not urgent, but let me flip the script on you. What if starting with these neglected spaces was the secret to finally getting your whole home in order? Stick with me here. This isn't just about tidying up. It's about breaking the cycle of overwhelm. We've all been there. You decide to declutter, full of enthusiasm, and immediately start with the most chaotic emotional place in your house, like your closet or your kitchen. Big mistake. 5 minutes in, you're sitting on the floor, surrounded by mismatched socks and half-empty spice jars, wondering why you even started. Sound familiar? That's where the reverse room challenge comes in. Instead of diving headfirst into the chaos, you start with the rooms you barely use. Yes, I know it sounds counterintuitive, but trust me on this. It works. Here's the deal. Those low-stakes spaces, like the guest room or the laundry area, are your warm-up zones. They're less emotionally loaded, so you're not going to waste hours debating whether to keep an old concert t-shirt or your grandmother's tea set. In these rooms, decisions are easier, progress is faster, and before you know it, you've got a win under your belt. It's like going to the gym. You don't start with the heaviest weights, you ease in. By the time you get to the high-stakes spaces, you're in the groove, and suddenly, those hard decisions don't feel so overwhelming. Let me share a personal story. A few months ago, I decided to tackle my clutter once and for all. Naturally, I wanted to start with my bedroom, the epicenter of all my chaos. But then I thought, nope, let's test this reverse strategy first. So I went to my neglected storage room. It was full of random boxes, old decor, and things I'd completely forgotten about. Within an hour, I had 3 bags ready for donation and another for the trash. The best part, I felt amazing. That little victory gave me the confidence to move on to harder spaces. By the time I got to my bedroom, I was practically on a decluttering roll, making decisions like a pro. This isn't just about clearing out stuff. It's about creating momentum. You start small, build confidence, and by the time you hit the big challenges, you've already proven to yourself that you can handle it. Plus, it's emotionally empowering. There's something deeply satisfying about walking into a room you've transformed, even if it's the guest room you only see once a month. It's a reminder that you're in control of your space, and by extension, your life. So here's my challenge to you. Don't start with the hardest room. Start with the forgotten one. Work backwards, room by room, until you've reclaimed your entire home. You'll not only see progress faster, but also feel lighter, more capable, and, dare I say it, excited to keep going. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about decluttering. It's about proving to yourself that you've got this. Your home, your rules, your momentum. Let's start backwards and move forward. Number 3. The Minimalist Reset. Pack your life into boxes. What if I told you that the secret to figuring out what you truly need in life is to pack up everything you own? Yes, everything. Sounds extreme, right? You're probably thinking, pack up my whole house, that's ridiculous. But hear me out. This isn't about moving or making your life harder. It's about hitting the reset button and finally finding clarity in the chaos. We've all been there, sitting in a cluttered room, staring at a lifetime of stuff and feeling completely stuck. You know the type of clutter I'm talking about. The clothes you never wear, the stacks of papers you might need one day, and the random kitchen gadgets you swore would change your life but haven't touched in years. It's overwhelming, it's paralyzing. And yet, we keep it all because we don't know how to let go. So here's the strategy. Pack it all up as if you're moving. Every single thing. Your clothes, books, decorations, even the stuff in your junk drawer. Put it all into boxes and only unpack what you actually use or need over the next 30 days. The idea is simple. If you don't miss it, you don't need it. It's like a minimalist experiment, but instead of forcing yourself to part with things up front, you're letting your daily habits decide for you. Let me tell you about the time I tried this. It was during a weekend when I finally admitted to myself that my apartment wasn't working for me anymore. It was cramped, cluttered, and honestly kind of suffocating. So I grabbed some boxes and started packing. It felt strange at first, boxing up things I'd kept for years, but it was also liberating. By the end of the day, my space was empty, but my mind crystal clear. Over the next month, I only unpacked what I needed: my favorite coffee mug, a handful of clothes, my laptop, and a few other essentials. The rest, I didn't even think about it. Here's the kicker. When I looked at all those unopened boxes, I realized they were full of things I was holding on to out of habit, not necessity. It was a wake-up call. I donated most of it, sold a few items, and tossed the rest. The result? A home that felt light, purposeful, and genuinely mine. This isn't just about decluttering your space, it's about decluttering your mind. When you strip away the excess, you're left with what truly matters. It's not about living with nothing. It's about living with what you love and use. And the best part, you'll never have to deal with that overwhelming, cluttered feeling again. So, are you ready to try the minimalist reset? Pack your life into boxes and let your daily actions guide you toward what's truly important. This is about creating space, not just in your home, but in your life. Your space, your clarity, your freedom. You deserve it. Number 4, 1 in, 3 out rule, extreme space control. What if I told you that every new item you bring into your home could be the key to transforming your entire space? Sounds dramatic, doesn't it? But stick with me here. This simple shift, something I call the 1 in, 3 out rule, might just be the game changer you've been waiting for. Now, I know what you're thinking. 3 things out for every 1 thing in, that's intense. And yes, it's a bit extreme, but that's exactly what makes it so powerful. We've all been there, excited about a shiny new purchase, only to realize we have no place to put it. Maybe it's a cute new sweater that ends up crammed into an already overstuffed closet, or a kitchen gadget that gets shoved into the drawer of doom. You know the one. It's not just clutter, it's a visual reminder of how overwhelmed we feel by our stuff. The 1 in, 3 out rule flips this problem on its head. Instead of your space shrinking under the weight of new things, it actually gets lighter and more intentional with every single addition. Here's how it works. Every time you bring something new into your home, a pair of shoes, a book, a knick-knack, you commit to removing 3 items of similar category. Bought a new sweater, say goodbye to 3 pieces of clothing that no longer serve you. Got a new mug? Time to toss or donate 3 from your overcrowded cabinet. It's brutal, I know, but that's the point. It forces you to think critically about what you're bringing into your life and whether it's truly worth the trade-off. Let me tell you about the time I started doing this. It all began when I bought a new jacket. Nothing fancy, but it made me feel great. When I got home, I realized my closet was already stuffed. So I decided to try this rule. 1 jacket in, 3 out. At first, it was tough. I stared at my closet, justifying why I needed each piece. But then I found 3 jackets I hadn't worn in years. Out they went. And you know what? It felt amazing. I wasn't just making space for a new jacket. I was making space for a new mindset. The magic of this rule isn't just in the physical space it creates. It's in the mental clarity it brings. You stop buying things on a whim because you know there's a cost beyond the price tag. You start appreciating the items you choose to keep because they've earned their place in your life. And most importantly, you stop feeling weighed down by the sheer volume of stuff surrounding you. This is about more than just decluttering. It's about taking control of your space, your habits, and ultimately your life. Yes, it's a little extreme, and yes, it takes discipline, but the payoff? It's freedom. Freedom to breathe, freedom to focus, and freedom to truly enjoy the things that matter most to you. So, Are you ready to give it a try? Remember, every single thing you own is a choice. Make those choices count. Number 5. Declutter by disaster. What would you save? Imagine for a moment that your home is under threat. A fire, a flood, or some other disaster that forces you to grab what matters most and leave the rest behind. It's a terrifying thought, isn't it? But stick with me here, because this isn't about fear. It's about clarity. When faced with such a situation, you instinctively know what's worth saving. Now, what if you used that same mindset to declutter your life? Yes, it's unconventional. Yes, it's a bit extreme. But trust me, it works. We've all been there, holding on to things we might need someday, sentimental items buried in drawers, or piles of stuff that just seem to multiply. You know the type. The closet overflowing with clothes, half of which don't fit anymore, or that drawer packed with cables for devices you no longer own. It's overwhelming, isn't it? But here's the thing. When everything feels important, nothing truly is. That's where this idea, declutter by disaster, comes in. Here's the strategy. Pretend you have 10 minutes to evacuate your home. What would you save? Take a moment to really think about it. Picture yourself walking through your space, grabbing the essentials, your passport, family photos, that one book you can't live without. What stays behind? That's the stuff you can live without. And here's the twist. Once you know what you'd save, you'll start to see everything else differently. That pile of magazines? Gone. The box of mismatched Tupperware? See ya. Let me tell you how this worked for me. One weekend, I decided to play the game for real. I set a timer for 10 minutes and walked through my apartment with a duffel bag. I grabbed my laptop, my favorite journal, a small box of keepsakes, and my cat's favorite toy. That's it. The rest? Well, when the timer went off, I looked around at all the things I hadn't touched, old knickknacks, clothes I hadn't worn in years, kitchen gadgets I never used. It was like a light bulb went off. I realized those things weren't adding any value to my life. They were just taking up space. This isn't just about clearing clutter. It's about redefining what matters. It's about prioritizing the things that bring you joy, comfort, and purpose. And let me tell you, there's an incredible sense of freedom that comes from letting go. You're not just creating physical space, you're creating mental space. Space to breathe, space to focus, space to be. So here's my challenge to you. Take 10 minutes, walk through your home, and imagine you have to make those tough choices. What would you save? And once you've identified what truly matters, let the rest go. This isn't about loss. It's about gaining clarity, gaining control, and most importantly, gaining the freedom to live your life unburdened by the weight of unnecessary stuff. It's your space, your peace, your life. Make it count. Thank you so much for watching. I truly hope this video gave you some fresh insights and practical ideas to transform your home into a space that feels empowering and purposeful. If you found this valuable, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really helps support the channel. And if you're ready for more content like this, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Know someone who's battling clutter or could use a little inspiration? Share this video with them. It might just be the nudge they need. I'd also love to hear from you in the comments. What's your biggest decluttering challenge, or do you have a favorite tip that's worked for you? Let's get the conversation going and build a community where we can all learn from each other. Remember, your home is your sanctuary. It's where your peace, creativity, and joy begin. Take it one step at a time and trust that every small change you make brings you closer to the space you deserve. Until next time, keep creating a home that works for you. See you in the next video.